if there was a 3-year override.
So would the 3-year override start this year, or would it be held off till next year? Would it include this budget talk that we're speaking of now?
If the decision, there are a couple of decisions to be made. One decision is from the school, I'm only speaking from the school committee standpoint, would be to have a 1-year override under that level services budget. The school committee right now is not going to support that superintendent's budget. They thanked me for it, they said you did a great job, we understand the need, but we're focused on that level services. That's where they are. The 1.3 million, 1-year override. A second option would be to find out what a 3-year budget looks like and to develop a proposal that is a 3-year override for 08, 09, and 010. And both of those questions would come up sometime in late May or early June after the town meeting. Another option is to do nothing, live with the available funds, and then next year try for an override again, either a 1-year or a 3-year. Basically do what we did last year, and that is to say, hold off for a year, come back next year. But the difference, remember, is last year there was additional money and there were more options. And so we were able to say to the community, yeah, I think we can get through this year. I'm telling you, we will not be able to get through next year. And those lists of costs will be how we balance the budget. Another option that will be, I'm sure, discussed more from the Finance Committee standpoint and the Board of Selectmen would be that carry forward budget. Is there a way to find $879,000 without an override? Well, it's not in the school side, so I don't know, where that money would be involved. Right now, it appears it would be an override. But again, and I would put that question out to you as voters, would you be voting on an override for $879,000? Yes, the dollar value of that would be what? Probably a little more than half of that 37 cents, probably in the order of about 20 cents per thousand. Would you vote and approve an override, which would not add anything to the program? That's a question. Other questions on the budget? Yes.
What is the plan for the superintendent department to promote this information among school superintendents? So here today, we're talking about something.
Yeah. Next week there will be some printed material that will be distributed in the usual way through print, but we'll also use email technology, and we'll also put it on the school website to get information out. I do think that the School Finance Strategy Committee, and both Kim and Deanna are members of that, will take an active role in also helping to communicate. But attend the public meeting, take a look at the website next week. Expect some communication via email. You have a great system here, and I think it's, again, the Parent Association funding of that has been a great resource. So those are the usual ones.
About the phone message
The phone message system, I want to reserve that for the kinds of things that are related more to school emergency. I don't want to use that system constantly calling homes unless it's a critical issue. Now, this is a critical issue. I'm sure I'd be tempted to do it. But I might say, we might put a message, I might ask the principals to send a message out. Don't forget tomorrow night is the public hearing. Or don't forget town meeting starts, on such and such a day. Okay. Yes. that's a good question. I don't know if it can on your email system. The question is, can you send it as an attachment? I'm going to look into seeing if we can do that on the website, but I wouldn't think on your email, but possibly on the website. Okay? It's probably going to be a very big file, though, given that I've been talking for quite a while. All right. Other questions? Yes.
What about the town website? I don't know how big the database is on the town website, the new one that they just created. Is that a big database? It would be, put the information on that?
They could. I don't control that. I can make that suggestion to Mr. Balcones. Other questions? Yeah.
Water question, how do you think this plan helps people running?
Maine? Baldock? Yes. What, can you tell what community you were in? Okay, so you were in a rural area. Yeah, I went to Bates College, so I know Lisbon. Yeah. Right. Well, I think that if you take Maine as a state, it has only one, I'll say, several urban centers. You have Portland, you have Lewiston, Auburn, you have Bangor. Most of Maine tends to be very rural and small school districts. Probably, in comparison to Massachusetts, more similar to what you would find out in the western part of, out in the Berkshires. And here in Massachusetts, most of those small communities have come together as regional school districts. So I don't know. Here in Massachusetts, you have school districts that are reasonable size. We have 2,700, over 2,700 kids. It's probably an average size school district. I don't know how, by centralizing regions, the issues for the urban districts are quite different than issues here in communities such as North Reading. So I don't know if that plan could work. I know if you go to other parts of the country, you see most public schools are organized on counties or very large regions. But again, there's still some fundamental things that have to occur. And so I'm not convinced that you're going to end up saving the kind of money that you think you're going to save. It also, at the same time, it does pull away that local control. And I think here in Massachusetts, the ability to have these kinds of conversations with a community and have the community decide what it wants for services is probably a healthy thing. I think when you move away from that and you tend to, look at what's happened in healthcare, where you have you privatize that and you put tremendous controls on it. I'm not so sure whether that would be a good thing for education as well. Although, if you read that Tough Choices or Tough Times, you will see exactly that's what's being recommended here. Other questions? Good. All right. Well, it was a pleasure to be here today. Thank you, Deanna, for inviting me. I will stay for your meeting, and I know you have a meeting after the meeting, and I'll be happy to spend some time if you have other questions on other budget or otherwise that you want to ask me, because I don't see you all that much. So I'll begin. All right. So thank you.